Hi everybody, it's Catherine from In the Pink Designs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and thank you for watching my channel today. I have today this favor box that is holding 2 York peppermint patties, but many other things will fit in here. I am using the Expressions in Ink Designer Series paper along with the artistic dies and the gold foil sheets for this part. I used the layering circle dies for the sentiment and some polished pink cardstock. You can get 2 of these from one sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So that's one of the best parts of this. If you have to make a lot, you can get 2 per sheet. All right, and it measures 3 by 1 1/4 by 3 1/2. All right, so that gives you an idea. If the peppermint patties doesn't help, there's 2 of them in there just like this, but you can put something taller in there also. All right, and what I used today is I took a partial cut from the artistic dies, just the bottom half of this long leafy die, and I cut that with out of some foil sheet. I used the Designer Series paper in the with the layering circle dies. I used a piece that's not very busy so I can stamp the sentiment on it. And this is 1 1/8. It's the smallest circle and smallest scallop circle in that set. We need 2 pieces of the Designer Series paper that are 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and 1 piece of polished pink cardstock that is 5 1/2 by 8 1/4. So you only don't use a 1/4 inch off the side of the 8 1/2 side. Alrighty, so now we can score. We're going to score the 8 1/4 inch side first, and we're going to score at 1/2, 3 1/2, 4 3/4, and 7 3/4. Then we're going to move it to the 5 1/2 inch side, and we're going to score at 1 1/4 and 4 1/4. Then move it back to the 8 1/4 inch side, and we're going to score to the first score line only at 2 1/4, just down to there, and at 6. And then you're going to turn it around again and score only to the first score line again at 2 1/4 and 6. All right, whoops. All right, so now I'm going to fold and burnish. The 2 1/2 inch lines are going to score the other direction. You could score them that way too, but I just want to do this for on screen, and it works out fine either way as long as you're gentle when you score it. And I'm folding and burnishing only the lines that go the full length. Okay, and this is what we want to do today. So what we're going to do is just basically take the 2 rectangles off each corner and then tab these squares. All right, so we want you to turn it so that the 2 skinny rectangles are in the portrait. Okay, so there's one at the top and one closest to me. All right, now we're going to take out this rectangle and this rectangle, but we're going to go straight. This is our front flap or our back flap. They're the same. We're going to go all cut straight all the way up past the square. Okay, so we're just going to go past this rectangle, past the second rectangle, and go to the edge of the square. Then we're going to take off these 2 rectangles, and we're going to wedge only the inside of the square. So that's what we did. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Go past the 2 rectangles and go up to the corner of the square. Take off the bottom 2 and wedge the inside of the square. Okay, turn it 180 and do the same thing. All the way up past to the corner of the square, take off the bottom 2 and wedge the inside of the square. Okay, last one. up past the two rectangles up to the corner of the square. Take the rectangles off, whoops, and only wedge the inside of the square. Okay, and that's what it has to look like when you're finished scoring and cutting. Alrighty, now we need some tear and tape, and we're going to put 2 pieces on each of the 4 tabs. I'm going to put them like this. So we're going to do this side first. You could do either side, but I'm just going to pick this side for now. All right, what we want to do is take the top of the square here, this line here, and make it straight with this part of our flat. Okay, so we just want to make sure it's straight. All right, just like that. And the same on all 4 corners. Okay, so that's what it looks like when you do half of it. Okay, now let's do these 2. Alrighty, and this line here, straight with this line. And then our last one, you might have to just gently pull this out a little bit. Just make sure that it goes nice and straight. And there's your box. It's really not too hard at all to do this. Okay. Now we need our 2 pieces of designer series paper that are 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And then just decide what you want your front to be and which piece of paper you'd like to be on the front. And this has a 1/8 inch border of polished pink all around the DSP on both sides. Alrighty. Now we need, okay, which one's going to be our front? I think this is going to be our front. All right, and now we need this piece of our die, and then I just want these to kind of hang down straight. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. I'm just going to make a mark there because we're going to cut that off. All right, and then I'm going to put glue. I don't want to glue the whole thing down. I just want to glue a little bit at the top and right here, just to give it a good base. Let's have it hold on. And then I'm just going to glue it to that top piece here, right like that, and just hold it there for a second. Okay, and then just get your scissor and trim off that top piece we don't need. Alrighty, let's just let that dry a minute, and we have our scalloped circle and our circle. And I'm using these Encircled and Friendship stamp set for You Are the Best. Alright, I'm going to use some Tuxedo Black ink. I'm just going to Put it on there. Now the best way to do this would be to stamp it on your paper first and then cut the circle out if you want it exactly in the middle. But I didn't do a bad job there. And then I'm just going to glue this onto the scallop. You could pop it up if you want to, but I want the scallop to really show as much as it can. So I'm just going to glue that. Okay. Alright, now let's put our 2 peppermint patties in and close it and make sure that it's nicely even. And then I'm going to take a 1/8 inch hole punch and I'm going to punch 2 holes to run our ribbon through. Okay, that's good. Alrighty, and I have some of the pale papaya ribbon which matches this flower in there. I'm just going to run it right through here. And then I'm just going to tie a bow. Okay, I'll just trim that off. All right, now I'm also going to punch a hole in the top of our sentiment. And I'm going to use this from the, I have a piece already cut off, from the, what is this? It's the Simply Elegant trim pack. There's silver and gold. And this is the gold. I'm just going to put it through and loop it. And I'm just going to tie it around the bottom of the bow. You could tie another bow with the gold if you want. I think I'm just going to clip it off. I'm just going to tie it. And I'm just going to clip them just like that. And there you go. That's a pretty, as boxes go, favorite boxes goes, that's really quick. And you can do a lot of them for not so much money. Thank you so much for joining me today. I would love it if you would subscribe and hit the like button. And if you need a demonstrator and would like to buy these or any other Stampin' Up! Products, my address is at the top of the screen. And if you have any questions, please let me know. You can tell me in the comments or I will put my email address below. Thank you so much for watching my channel today, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.